Those Who Serve on WBBZ-TV, proudly presented by Hiller Comerford Injury and Disability Law. If you've been denied VA or Social Security benefits, it's Hiller time. Old Editions Bookshop and Gallery in North Tonawanda. Alpha Stim for relief of anxiety, pain, and sleep issues. For more information, go to alpha-stim.com. And with a generous donation from Bill of Supply Centers. This is Those Who Serve.
Hi, I'm Terry McGuire, host and co-producer of Those Who Serve. You know, in spring we think about a lot of things in April. We think about renewal, we think about Easter, we think about Dingus Day, we think about April flowers bring May flowers. But another thing I want you to think about is your citizenship and renewing your citizenship as we go forward this year. I want you to think about people of the greatest generation, those who grew up in the 1920s that helped fight and win World War II. Who am I talking about? I'm talking about people like Dr. John Long, Casey Butowski, and also for this month's episode, Bill Gosch, Marine Raider and World War II veteran. These are the type of folks that help build our democracy going forward. And by the way, let's think about it for a second. Let's think about sacrifice and what they had to do. They had gasoline rationing during this time frame. They had food rationing. They had 16 million people in uniform, roughly 12% of the United States population was serving abroad and overseas. We had Rosie the Riveters. We had our women in factories fabricating and building our tanks and our war machines and our airplanes. We had women on the farms, fertilizing our farms, making war material and produce so that we could win the war. Without them, there would be no victory. So let us thank those of that generation that gave us a new birth of freedom, henceforth from 1945 onward. For them, we can never thank them enough for their sacrifices. And for those 400,000 Americans that never came home, who gave their tomorrows so that we could have our todays, we thank them. We thank those who served and those who are about to serve. Thank you. I'm Terry McGuire, a host of Those Who Serve, and today I'm here with the famous North Tonawanda resident known as Bill Gosch, who was a Marine Corps World War II veteran, a veteran of 4 or 5 different amphibious landings during the Pacific campaigns during World War II. Bill, thank you so much for being here, inviting us into your home.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Pleasure just to have you guys, and I've had a great visit with you.
You're an amazing guy, and being 102, I think you probably have enough history here to be the resident that can tell all about North Tonawanda here on Goundry Street where you live. But you're an amazing individual, and we just want to thank you, and we're so honored to have you on our show, Those Who Serve.
Thank you. Thank you. I don't know what I can contribute. I spent a lot of time, I was overseas 3 years in the Pacific, Bougainville, Guam, Okinawa, a little island called Emeru, Guadalcanal, New Caledonia, which is down near Australia, but that was just a landing spot.
And you mentioned about Okinawa as being a place where you would transition in and out of the general area. It was the place that you first went in. It was the last place that you left when you left the Pacific. You were heading out of.
Guadalcanal was kind of the, let me call it home base, for lack of a better term. We go out on an assault someplace, be it what it is, we come back to Guadalcanal and reorganize. I never realized we had that many battleships and cruisers or troop carriers. The whole, when you stand on the edge of the water, you can see 8 miles out onto the ocean. It was completely solid with boats. I never in my life saw so many boats in one place. And up over top, they were having an aerial battle with our airplanes and the Japanese airplanes. And you could see them chasing each other around up in the sky. You're 30,000, 40,000 feet, way up pretty high, but you can see these things going around. And I saw a kamikaze. He had an airplane, and he went bang right into the bridge of a boat. Big explosion. Here again, it's 8 miles away, long way, but I saw it happen. These other airplanes are chasing each other around up in the sky. You can see just black moves going around. All of a sudden, one got hit, boom, went right down to the ocean, and a little splash. Well, you could throw a nickel in the canal, make about as big a splash as what that airplane did when it hit the ocean. And that was the end of that.
A long way away from the safe confines of North Tonawanda, and I think you've explained a few times on one of your landings, you heard something, you called it the voice. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
And you're trotting down the beach. You can't run fast in sand. You just kind of trot along. And I'm trotting along, and all of a sudden, a voice says, "Stop." And I stopped. And I looked down, and bullets from a Japanese machine gun landed in the sand. If I had taken another step, I wouldn't be here today. But the good Lord said, "Stop." I stopped, I looked down, and as a result of that, I got back and looked back up, and I walked over to the hummock and sat down, and I prayed. I'll never forget that instant. God talked to me.
And I think that's probably where you discovered too, that you were saying before about the world got bigger when you left North Tonawanda. You discovered some things that you couldn't believe your eyes.
Yeah, I mean, we're all creatures of where we live, be it whatever community you're born and brought up, that's your community. And that's what you know until you get someplace else and realize it's a big world that we live in compared to North Tonawanda. I found that out.
Yeah, I think you found that out too when you landed in Guam and you met some natives of the island that kind of shocked you a little bit.
On Guam, a man and a woman come walking out of the jungle, and they looked at us, we looked at them, they looked at us. They turned around and walked back in the jungle. Well, no shoes, no nothing, just what I said, the two things, that was it, and back into the, I thought to myself, my God, what do they do about mosquitoes or anything else? Absolutely no clothing at all. Made my world just a little bit bigger.
Apparently you were hit in the thigh.
I was hit right here.
In one of the campaigns and knocked you right over.
It didn't knock me over, I was kneeling down, and it was hot, and it landed here, and I quick brushed it off, and it went down onto the ground. And I reached down to get it, but when I grabbed a hold, it was kind of hot. And I left it laying there. I shouldn't have, but I did. It's one of the things I should have done and didn't do.
Yeah, so the Navy corpsman was saying, hey, you know, you deserve the Purple Heart, and then what did you tell him?
I said, no, I'll give it to somebody else. And with that, he got up and went, oh, I said, let me see if I can stand up, because this thing was like hitting me with a baseball bat. I said, wait till I see if I can stand up. Well, I got up and I stood up and says, okay. And away he went. He says, you want a Purple Heart? You was hit by shrapnel. I said, no, I'll give it to somebody else. I shouldn't have, but it was a dumb thing at 19 years old, dumb thing that I did. I never gave it a thought.
You never gave it a thought.
That's the problem. I never gave it a thought. I guess I don't think I even know what a Purple Heart was.
The Army knows a little bit more about it because it was the Order of the Purple Heart established by George Washington, became quite a great thing.
Oh, yeah. Once an action is over, right. It's over. It's over. You don't go back. We're near Naha. Well, Naha at that time was about as big as this carpet. I mean, it was bombed out, absolutely. On the hillside was kind of a little path. And we're standing guard duty around. All of a sudden, 9 Japanese soldiers come out of the dark. Flare went up, way over. The minute that flare come out, and boy, it's as bright as these lights. The minute that flare went up, they stopped and went down on one knee. Well, here I am with a Browning automatic rifle. Bing, 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 bing. New clip, bing, 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 bing. Shot them all. I thought I shot them all. And with that, it went dark. All of a sudden, a flare right over the top of my head. If it had been down 3, 4, 5, 6 inches, I wouldn't be here. But it went over the top of my head. Well, when I saw the thing go, bingo, I shot again, killed whoever it was that fired the flare. Went out the next morning, one of my bullets went through the pistol grip of the flare gun. Otherwise, I would have brought it home. But here again, another dumb thing. No good, leave it lay there. And I left it lay there. Now the only evidence is what's in here of what I did. But I left that flare gun, the pistol, one shot, had a flare in it, no, went over. I killed the guy that fired the flare.
You were telling me before about a gentleman that was in a cave and was smoking a cigarette.
Oh.
And probably one of the last cigarettes that he had, unfortunately for him.
Well, we had a foxhole. We're in the foxhole. And it was at night, and he was smoking. Well, when you smoke, it gets bright. A cigarette. You couldn't see it going up or down, but every little while, every 10 or 15 or 20 seconds, bingo. Next morning, there he was laying on the bottom of the cave. I'd shot him through just the memory of where that cigarette lit up that few seconds, taking a puff. All right, the book, I don't know where I got that. It's all Japanese writing.
This to me is very interesting.
All right, open it up. I took it off of somebody. It's got all their names on it. That's an Arisaki rifle.
Arisaki rifle.
Yeah. They're the Japanese hand grenade.
Obviously a little bit smaller than our hand grenades.
But think of how easy these are to throw in relation to our hand grenades. These are their ammunition boxes, Japanese.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. So our vapors today would probably like something like that.
That's an opium pipe.
Wow.
Japanese bayonet. Yeah.
Pretty impressive.
That's a 90 millimeter mortar shell.
Right. Bill, what is this?
That's my father's. World War I.
Oh, from the First World War.
Yeah.
Oh, it's his field mirror.
Yeah.
How
my
great
father
is
had
that?
this.
So you could use that to help shave.
Yeah.
It could be a signal mirror. You could use it for a lot of things. In fact, if he was in the trenches, a lot of times they would attach that to a piece of wood or something, look over the trench line so they didn't expose themselves.
See him. Yeah.
You know, we have a lot of treatment options now for veterans of all conflicts, especially since World War II, to deal with what they used to call combat fatigue. We call it post-traumatic stress disorder. And we know the VA does a really good job of helping some of our veterans, but When you came back, how did you deal with the emotional toll that you'd just been through?
I never thought of it. As simple as that, I never thought of it. In fact, I never thought of it until maybe the last 15 or 20 years. The men that I killed, they're in a foxhole someplace or a shell hole someplace. They'll never see their parents again. It never bothered me. When I killed them, it was just a part of the war, I guess I'd call it. Something you just did because you had to do it. And then you get to thinking. Boy, thinking is not a good thing when you think about it. Because you develop all these ancillary functions.
Were you able to lean on some of your other friends that had similar experiences? VFW, American Legion, any of those places? You pretty much stayed away from those, huh?
Yep.
And you dealt with all this on your own. That's pretty
Yep.
remarkable.
Yeah. I was the president of the Marine Corps League here for a few years ago, but I got away from that. Never joined the VAW or American Legion. I never got involved in anything.
Has the VA been helpful for you on anything for mental health?
Oh God. The VA has done everything for me. You see those two things there?
Yes.
The VA. That's VA. The stairwell, VA, $12,000. The VA come in, put it, and it's kind of a thing, but it rides me up and down the stairs. Oh God, the shorts I'm wearing, VA. Socks I'm wearing, VA. One thing after, I can't say enough for the Veterans Administration. No questions asked.
I'm really happy about that. Really happy that they're taking good care of you and you have all the help and resources that you need.
Thank God I got it.
If you were telling a story to a young person today, what wisdom would you like to impart upon them?
They're a part of a much larger world. It's there. The thing is, you got to go and find it or see it to be aware of it.
So that's one recommendation. Get out of town, see the world a little bit, and then come back and do some great things for your town. Lesson 1. Okay. How about lesson 2?
I didn't know that was lesson 1.
I was putting words in your mouth, but if you have a lesson 2.
Be honest, straightforward, do the best you can with whatever you got. Treat others, what's that, the golden rule? Treat others as you would like to have them treat you. Keep your eyes open. Keep your wits about you. And learn. Learn from the experiences that you have. Learn from the experiences. Everybody got different experiences, one way or another. Learn from them. Make it a part of you so that you're knowledgeable of those various experiences.
The world got bigger when you left North Tonawanda. You discovered some things that you couldn't believe your eyes.
Yeah. Talked to me.
And I think that's...
God.
You're a good looking guy. Still a good looking guy.
Oh, God. Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you.
You're welcome.
What a What a job you guys did.
This is the guy that did it. He's the editor.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
You
Makes it
did.
happen.
Thank you so much.
It's
Yeah.
incredibly, it's amazing.
Well done.
You wrote it?
Tom Voss,
Thank you.
thank you so much for your great presentation today as a veteran.
There are similarities between post-traumatic stress and moral injury, but the way that I like to look at it is that moral injury is kind of the core wound. It's really shame, grief, guilt.
And what should we encourage our veterans to do? If you suspect that your fellow buddy, your battle buddy,
Yeah.
is going through something, what should you do? What can we do as citizens out there to help our veterans? You mentioned the herd and the buffalo herd and how it protects the most vulnerable inside, and then it reverses itself. What can we do for our veterans if we suspect that they're going through a great deal of pain?
Yeah, I think one thing as a veteran to check in on your buddies. Just give a phone call, shoot a text, be like, hey, and then say, hey, I'm going to do this, every month. I'm just going to do a round. I'm just going to send out a round of texts just to check in, start a group chat, whatever you can do. And then on top of that, if you know that someone's really struggling, try to be as supportive as possible. Try to be a pillar in their life and say, hey, we can get through this. Depending on your own capacity, right? So if you yourself are experiencing a lot of stress and trauma that's coming up, reach out to another buddy and say, hey, can you give me a ride to the VA? Can you get me to this vet center group? Support as a community is incredibly important. And I think as veterans, we took an oath just to support the Constitution and our country, but that also translates after service and continued service in our communities. So stepping up, stepping out, really making sure that veterans that you just have an open line of communication with them.
I think we're blessed in Western New York to have so many great veteran resources. We have an in-house PTSD clinic in Batavia, New York. We have our Center for Hope for our lady veterans. We have the National Crisis Center here in Canandaigua, New York, just a little bit to the east of here. So we are veteran rich, and I would encourage everybody to use that 988 press 1 number if you do really suspect that veterans are having issues. But Tom, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah.
Thank you for your advocacy, and best luck to you.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me. Thank you.
Thanks for watching this episode of Those Who Serve. Next month, we're going to have Billy Mariani, an Afghanistan veteran, who will talk about his great story and his great faith and courage. Don't miss it. You're going to really love this show. Thank you, and have a great day.
Those Who Serve on WBBZ-TV, proudly presented by Hiller Comerford Injury and Disability Law. If you've been denied VA or Social Security benefits, it's Hiller time. Old Edition's Bookshop and Gallery in North Tonawanda. Alpha Stim for relief of anxiety, pain, and sleep issues. For more information, go to alpha-stim.com. And with a generous donation from Bill of Supply Centers. This is Those Who Serve.